very often corporations think that change needs to come from the top. And it needs to sometimes be imposed, and it needs to be, yes, communicated. And they want to make the transition easy. And for them to make the transition easy is to over-inform. It's just communicate, communicate, communicate. But it's not communication. It's information. It's get the memo, send out the memo that nobody reads. And it's not because it's in the memo that people understand what's going on. You have to sort of detach yourself from the idea that because it's written somewhere, that people understand the whys and the whole thing about the change that's coming. And it's not something that, well, they'll just have to deal with it. Once they're in it, they'll adapt, and then some will resist a bit, and in the end it'll work. If you don't own the change, if you're not part of the change, if you're not involved in the change, if it's not something that you are emotionally connected with, you will resist. Because that's just the laws of nature. It's that you will find faults in it. You will look at the danger that comes with it. And so I find that when you talk about change, because it's such a different experience if you are provoking the change, or if you're just on the receiving end, and if you can in any way involve people in the change, even if it's just a little bit, so that they're contributing to the change. A mediocre solution that you own will always be better than a great solution that you don't.
Nice.
And I've observed this so many times. And it's just like when you're having a conversation and you want something to change, and you have a friend that says, oh, this is what you should do. You should go, like, you want a raise, for example, and you don't know how to go about it. And say, oh, just, your boss is an idiot, and you need to go and you need to bang your fist on the table. And like when you imagine yourself going into the office and banging your fist on the table, it's just like something that is so out of character that you don't see yourself doing it. Even if you believe that in this circumstance, for some reason, this would be the thing to do, it is so not you that even if you went ahead and did it, even if he convinced you to do it and you went ahead and did it, you would do it with so little conviction. It would just not work. It would not come across. But if you find the way to do it, if you are part of that solution of, okay, how am I going to ask for this raise? What is it that, how's it going to make it feel right for me? Even if it's the smoothest thing with the most aggressive character, if it feels right for you, you'll have more chance of getting across, because, and for me, that's like a fundamental part of it. If I'm in the line of work that I do, it's because of how we provoke change in other people. And that's what's so fantastic, is to see somebody walk in, and they come with a challenge, and to see them walk out, sometimes an hour later, sometimes a few weeks later, and sometimes a few minutes later. And just with that light in their eye, and they're like, now I know what I need to do.
Yeah.
Like, and they own it, because they figured out what it was that they needed to do. And it doesn't matter how many different processes, strategies you've seen, you've come across, you've witnessed. I find it amazing how when they come up with their process, it's yet again different from anything else anybody else has ever come up with, but it works for them.
Yeah.
And it's just, and when I've sort of, sometimes it'll happen that I'm thinking, oh, this is what you need to do, but I'm holding myself back, because I know if I tell them what to do, I'm taking away the whole ownership, and it's not going to work. So I just, bite my tongue and work them through the process. And then most of the time when these thoughts come into my mind, they will come up with something different. And it's so much better than what I thought of. It is so much better. And I was like, see, this is exactly why you never tell somebody how to go through the process. Because it'll always be better when they build it themselves. Yes, and for me, that's such a beautiful thing. And it's all linked to, just accompanying people through the change, and just, creating that space for that to happen, rather than guiding them or taking them or showing them the way. It's more about, hey, we'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. I'll just sit here and get, create that space where you feel that you can do this.
Yeah.
And I find that amazing. I think that's one of the most exciting things for me, just like overall.